Hi, Reverend Mark Hanley here, and this is my recap for my confirmation class on sacraments. And what is a sacrament? Well, classically speaking, a sacrament is an outward visible sign of an inward invisible grace. So what does that mean? And what is this grace stuff? Well, for me, spirituality, as I may have said before, is a matter of tuning. If you think of it as being like a musical instrument, we all have a body, like a musical instrument does, and we all have a mind. We have the sounds that we make. But every musical instrument, and I believe every person, has a tuning, a kind of a texture and a pitch to the notes. So grace then is a word for, I suppose, right tuning. My personal way of understanding all things spiritual is in terms of tuning, and no less my way of understanding the Holy Spirit as being concert pitch for the universe, God's tuning. And if we can be in tune with that, then we surely will be full of grace. So, our sacraments are things that either reflect or seek to induce grace in us. So, how can that be? How can that work? Well, there are a number of ways of understanding this. One way is a bit like, I suppose, jump-starting a car, where you make the engine do the physical action to induce it to start running. The sacraments might be viewed as saying words and doing actions that are reflective of a grace that you hope to induce in the person. That's one way of understanding it. Another way is that the words and actions that we perform in sacraments are there to remind us of a grace that is there underneath all the time, to say words and do actions to knock away the distractions and the dirt that has stopped us from being in tune, so that we can be in tune once again, so that we can fully reflect the light that God has put in us as part of creation, and also put in us since we are created in the image and likeness of God. I don't know whether I can say that one of those ways of understanding is right or wrong. Both of them obviously fall short, and maybe we can understand both ways as being a little bit right at one time or another. So, on to the sacraments themselves. Baptism and Holy Communion, the two main sacraments of the Church, the first to introduce us into the community of the Church, and the other one which feeds the people of God through their journey. And then, of course, there are 5 others. Reconciliation, the sacrament of healing or laying on of hands, ordination, which is obviously one I've had to go through, where you're chosen to help the Church maintain its life of prayer and sacrament. There's also marriage, which is a sacrament performed between 2 people. And then, of course, the one that some of you watching this video are preparing for, confirmation. And I'll do a short video on each of those sacraments in a way which hopefully might help you understand what they are and how they work.